fall, we have starlings that start to move into our barn. Almost every year we have a hawk that comes in, and once that hawk comes in, the starlings are gone. It's kind of interesting. That hawk, he'll kind of come and go, but he's usually around most of the winter. We still have some pigeons in here, about, I don't know, there might be 20 or 30 of them. But it sure is nice to see them stupid starlings gone. As somebody said before, they're about like rats with wings. Yeah, they come down and try to pick the grain out of the silage and out of the feed. But yeah, I just seen him here today for the first. We're back here checking on some of our crops. Our wheat is starting to come up really nice. This was planted probably close 3 weeks ago, somewhere in there. 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But yeah, it's got good 3-inch growth on it. It'll grow a little bit more here before it goes dormant, but it's coming along pretty good. We're way up here on the field on top of the hill that we got a really good view. I always say it'd be a nice place to build a house, but doubt we ever will because it's kind of in the middle of the field. But it is a beautiful view up here. You can see the whole way down across the valley. See our home farm. You can see, yeah, you can see about 5 or 6 farms from up here. The leaves are really changing here the last week. We got a really hard frost here about a week ago. And yeah, some areas, low-lying areas, got nipped before that, but everything got nipped got killed now. I did that video on this second crop of Sudex that was coming up, and yeah, it got nipped by the frost before it got tall enough to worry about. What is here died off, and it'll make good organic matter to just let it here too. But yeah, it did not get enough growth on it to make it, so. But that's okay. We weren't really planning on a second cutting on it. It's just a bonus whenever we do get that. Here's another field of our wheat that we planted that we're going to combine. This field's got a little more growth than the other one up there. It looks really nice. Here's a field of our triticale that we have planted. Yeah, it's really greened up and looking really, really good. We're trying this chopped fodder here in some of our heifer pens. Yeah, it's the second time I've bedded it with them. We usually use sawdust in these pens. We've tried just regular fodder before and it works, but it don't seem to, in these smaller calves, it just don't seem to absorb quite like sawdust does. So we'll see how we make out with this chopped fodder and go from there. But it's really spreads over the pen nice and makes a nice fluffy soft bed for them. This is our old heifer barn and where we move them into whenever we first wean them. So we usually always use straw down through here most of the way till we get down here to the bigger pens, and then we start using sawdust is what we normally used. But yeah, these bigger pens is where we tried some of this chopped corn fodder, and so then we often sprinkled a little bit of sawdust in the scrape alley here just to keep it a little cleaner, a little drier for them, like right after we scrape it out. We scrape this barn out and bed it twice a week. So yeah, we're trying some of this fodder in the alley too. We just moved a group of weaned calves yesterday, so if you hear somebody bawling up there, that's what they're bawling about. But yeah, we're using some of this straw that we had baled this summer, that one field where it chopped it up really fine. It almost like chopped straw, and it makes pretty decent bedding, but I don't know if it absorbs quite as good as some of the other regular straw that's not chopped quite as fine. But it still works well. We'll keep you posted on how this works, but so far it seems to be doing good. Teddy likes to go up and let the front cow lick on him. There's not very many that'll do it, but every now and then he finds one that will. He's always in the parlor when we're milking, almost usually the whole milking. My wife and I came down to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee for a few days here for anniversary. And we've been down here, this is our third time maybe, at least. But this is the best view we've had yet. Oh my word, it's just ridge after ridge after mountain you can see out across there, and the leaves are just about prime. Yeah, it is beautiful. They call this the Smoky Mountains because they're always kind of hazy. If you see off there in the distance, way out there, you can really see. It's kind of like a blue smoke from the haze.
We need to talk about the getting up here, because it was like, if you see these ridges, I think we went to the top of every ridge, and then you go around the corner and it's like straight down, no guardrails or nothing. So I think we just might stay here all weekend. Till tomorrow morning.
She was wondering when we were on our way up here, where in the world are we going to? And I said, well, I guess if you want a good view, it's got to be some weird roads to get there. And that's about what it was. But the sun came around and shining on these from a different angle. It's probably about an hour before sunset. It is just absolutely beautiful. We came up here on the top of the mountain. There's a place called Clingman's Dome. It's supposed to be the highest elevation here in the Smoky Mountains. And there's a parking area here right next to it. And last night there was a bunch of fog hanging up here on the mountains. You can still see it down there in the valley, but up here on top, a wind picked up and blew it all away. And there's like a hoarfrost in the trees and the shrubs from the fog. The sun is just about to come up. It's going to be beautiful.
A shout of praise. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout of praise. Shout of praise. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout of praise.
Like to see the way the different hair on the cow's heads are. That one's a bull. He's got a curly head. And like this red one here, she has a short one. They're all different. This one looks like she had a rough night. Didn't comb her hair yet. And the whole way down through there. Some of them, they're backing up because I'm walking right in front of them. What did you do, Penny? She is so guilty. I knew something was up because the one dog, Teddy, always acts so guilty, and he probably won't come over here to the horse barn. And I didn't see Penny when I was feeding calves this morning. She always shows up. Anyhow, she's sitting over here. What did you do, Penny? Was you being a bad puppy? She had a chicken. The door was cracked a little bit, so she got herself a chicken, and she was laying over here with it. She didn't hurt it, but it's missing a few feathers. But she was like snuggled down with it. I'm not sure what her point was, but usually she will eat the chicken. So, but yeah, she won't come out of this pen. She's just sitting here in the corner with it. So you can always tell when Penny did something because Teddy, he walks around and like he acts like he's guilty about something, but yet, so you know full well that Penny did something she wasn't supposed to do. And you guys are so bad, you know that. But Penny does the bad stuff, and Teddy does the guilty, or does the guilty part. And then once you take care of it, then Teddy's fine. But we had some crazy wind last night, knocked some branches out of the tree. Not too bad. This week is a pretty special week to us. 33 years ago, we were getting ready for a wedding on November 14th, this Friday. So, anyhow, last week we went away. We went to Pigeon Forge for 5 days? Yeah, anyhow, it was a good time. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we always try to do something special for anniversary. Years ago when the children were little, we used to just get away maybe one night. Ever since probably, I'm not sure if it was our 20th or 25th anniversary, we went away for several nights. And yeah, ever since that, we tried to go away as the children got older, it was easier to do. We'd go away for a couple of days. It used to be years ago when we'd go away. I mean, we've always had good haired health. But when we'd go away, I'd do a lot of extra the day before I left, and then have to do a lot the day after we got home. And now, as the children are older and all taking a lot of responsibility, yeah, we kind of leave and everything flows, and they know what to do. And yeah, usually the winter months here on the farm are pretty slow, but this month or this year they're going to be really, really busy. Yeah, we got a lot of changes happening here on the farm this year, and whenever we had our barn fire back in '06, we added a piece over here on the side where we made room for calves, and that has worked very, very well for us, but we're kind of running out of space there. We are running out of space. We're really crowded for calves, and we've been talking about doing something different for a while for our calves. We haven't done it yet, but we're also considering some other changes here, and which is going to make us have to move our calves out of there. So we are going to build a calf barn here. We're going to probably get started on that here before too long. But we're also, having some other changes here on the farm as well. So we'll keep you updated as we go along about them. But
Finished milking here this morning and just finishing working off all the milkers. And the dogs almost always show up for milking. But this morning, I guess they decided they were cold. They weren't gonna get out of their soft, warm nest. But anyhow, we're done. Some milkings are just better than others. And this morning was, let me see, a longer milking.
a lot of cows and heifers fresh, and that's holding us up some too. We probably had 15 fresh in the last week, or less than that, probably the last 5 days. And 3 more we left out this morning, so it all just takes a little longer too.
Yeah.
About half of those 15 were first calf heifers, so yeah, just between that, Lois and I take a little longer to milk as it is because we talk a lot.
Something like that.
Work out all the problems of life.
Yep,
No, not
something like
quite.
that.
Yeah, but today is really cold. Yeah, it's still Tuesday here. Lois and I milked this morning. But yeah, I'll show you a contraption we bought. Or it looks like a contraption right now. It's a rock grinder that's made to mount on a on the front of an excavator, a track hoe. And the guy that had it there said that it worked very well. He used it, but the biggest problem with it was when you'd put it down and go to start grinding a rock. He said it was really hard. It just wanted to kind of like lurch you ahead. Man, it had so much leverage on the arm of the excavator. So here's the engine and hydraulic unit that powers it. So my son Willie came up with the idea he's going to try to find an old frame of some sort. He found an old road grader. He's thinking of buying that and completely stripping it down to just the frame and the wheels, mounting the engine and the hydraulic unit in the back, and mounting this up near the front and putting it on a Sumpfer hydraulic, what has a hydraulic cylinder on it, and being able to raise and lower it so you can tow it behind the tractor. Basically, your tractor would just need to be to tow it around. And yeah, this would pretty much drive, it would drive itself. So it's probably, I didn't measure it, but it looks like it'd be 2 feet wide. We've dug a lot of rocks out of our fields and broke a lot of rocks, but there's still some surface rocks here and there. And to come in to break them out, yeah, we can do that, but it costs some money. And to get a rock grinder in that you have behind the tractor, not the cheapest either. And they said the engine and everything works good, runs well. It's got a Cat engine in it. So anyway, we didn't have to pay a whole lot for it. So we'll see what we make of it. And yeah, all the other projects we have happening this winter, I'm not quite sure how it'll all go or when we'll get it done, but we'll take it one day at a time and see what happens. Yeah, we're going to get that front. Just that unit there on the front, they said weighs 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. Well, let me back up. They had a telehandler down there that was supposed to lift 6,000 pounds down at the sale, and it wouldn't pick it up. They had to go get a bigger one. So it might weigh a little more than that. But this engine and hydraulic unit, I think, weighs around a ton. So we'll be able to move that around. But there's a local repair shop just right up the road that has a telehandler that we're going to get tomorrow to unload it. It's too cold. Today's one of the coldest days we've had this year. I don't think it got above freezing today, and the wind's been blowing like crazy all day. It was really cold this morning, but the wind's supposed to die down, it's supposed to warm up a little bit here later in the week. So yeah, it's getting towards Thanksgiving, almost the middle of November, so we can expect about anything around here. Yeah, we got our tractor here. We got to get that put up in the barn. We used it some this summer. We got a few other pieces of equipment we still got to get put away, but we're pretty much done with field work for the year, thankfully.